Hello students, today I am going to teach you another figure of speech, that is euphemism. Okay, now let us understand what euphemism is. Euphemism refers to figurative language designed to replace phrasing that would otherwise be considered harsh, impolite or unpleasant. Okay, instead of conveying words that are harsh to the ears, unpleasant to the ears, you change it to make it a little more better. Okay, little more good. This literary device allows for someone to say what they mean indirectly without using literal language as a way of softening the impact of what is being said. So the meaning is the same, but as we know, there is always a way of saying. Okay, so that is called euphemism. The way of saying which does not hurt the feelings of others. Okay, so this is the example. Instead of the employer telling the employee you're fired, he says politely, I'm letting you go. Okay, so this is the example. I'm letting you go is the example of euphemism. Okay, instead of saying you're fired, because you're fired means something harsh. Okay, so now look at this euphemisms in language. My goldfish passed the way, that is better way, instead of saying it died. Okay, so this is another example. Now let us understand how to pronounce euphemism. Euphemism is pronounced as euphemism. Okay, euphemism. It is derived from the Greek phrase euphemismos, meaning to sound good. Okay, same word, same way, but less harsher and sounding good. That is euphemism. Now, let us understand what are the common examples of euphemism. There are many common examples of euphemism used in everyday conversation and writing. Here are some well-known uses of this figure of speech. Okay, we could see this kind of euphemisms in almost in newspapers, in books, in hoardings, um, everywhere. And if you see the examples, you can easily understand that you have seen this somewhere. Instead of telling a person poor, you can use a better word saying economically challenged. Okay, instead of saying put to sleep, you say euthanize. Then instead of saying between jobs, you say instead of saying unemployed, you say between jobs. The second one is instead of saying euthanize, you say put to sleep. That sounds little softer. Okay, then instead of saying vomit, you say upchuck. Then instead of saying overweight, you say big boned. Instead of saying lying, you say blowing smoke. Instead of saying divorce, you say split. Instead of saying torture, you say enhanced interrogation. So these are the ways you have to use the word. Okay, instead of telling it directly, you indirectly say it in a way that doesn't sound harsh. Okay, now the most common examples for euphemism for death. See, death actually is a painful feeling. Okay, and there are euphemisms to convey that particular word death. Instead of using the word died, death, you use it in different forms. Okay, so one of the most common abstractions to be replaced by euphemism is death. Using euphemism to express death and dying may be a way to avoid confronting mortality or to gain some emotional distance from a sad circumstance. Here are some examples of euphemism used to express death or dying. You can say, instead of saying died or death, you can say passed away, bought the farm, kicked the bucket, departed, lost, gone, pushing up daisies, resting in peace, met untimely demise, meet the maker, going to a better place, 6 feet under, sleeping with the fishes. So these are all, these words or phrases sound little bit softer. Okay, the meaning is going to be the same, but the way of conveying is different. Okay, this is another example of euphemism. Now let us understand how to write euphemism, how writers use euphemism. Euphemism is a useful literary device for writers. This figure of speech allows the writer to address potentially sensitive, offensive, or unpleasant subjects in a more delicate or less damaging manner than literal words or phrasings would be. As I told you before, instead of addressing potentially sensitive, offensive, unpleasant subject, we are using it in a little delicate or less damaging manner. Okay, that is how you have to write euphemism. In addition, euphemisms can add to the poetic nature of writing as a means of describing something in a more figurative manner. They can also elevate a writer's prose. It improves writing. When you use euphemism words, it enhances your writing. Okay? It is important for writers to understand that overuse of euphemism can be confusing and lose their meaning for readers. So overuse of euphemism is also not good. Okay? In addition, depending on the tone of a written work, euphemisms can actually be more crass, unpleasant, or offensive than direct and literal wording. Sometimes it may turn poisonous if you overuse it. Okay? Therefore, euphemism should be carefully and appropriately selected by writers in order to be effective. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Writers especially have to be very careful when they use euphemism. Okay, because it will turn against the writer itself. Maybe it will sound harsh for the reader, which actually should not be. Okay, here are some benefits of incorporating euphemism in writing. What are the benefits? Euphemism helps communicate meaning for painful subjects. Writers often tackle subjects that can be painful, such as death or heartbreak. Euphemism is an excellent literary device for writers and poets in particular to communicate meaning when it comes to these painful subjects. Okay, so it is in the hands of the writers how they need to convey it in a pleasant tone instead of the literal meaning. Okay, so figurative language through euphemism can allow readers to feel less confronted or they might by harsh literal wording. As a result, meaning is enhanced through figure of speech. Okay, so the meaning will be enhanced. The writer, the person who reads also will not feel offended. Okay, helps incorporate humor for readers. Sometimes euphemism can bring in humor too. Euphemism is often inherently humorous. In attempting to replace wording or phrasing that is impolite or offensive, euphemisms can range from being unclear to nonsensical. They have no meaning as standalone phrases without the context of the literal abstraction. However, euphemisms can be a way for writers to incorporate the ridiculous in their writing as humor for the reader. So they can use this kind of euphemisms to convey a ridiculous tone that may bring a smile on the face of the reader. Okay, so this is also one way where euphemisms can be employed. Okay, then euphemism is a kind of art. Many incidents happen which can't be expressed without embarrassing, hurting, or being rude and impolite. Euphemism will lessen such feelings, though they express what is to be said and will be understood by whom it was addressed to. Okay, so it can avoid unpleasant tone, embarrassing tone, hurting tone, or being rude and impolite. Okay, so it is a kind of art where you uh, play with you don't play with the feelings of the readers. Okay, always readers want positive kind of feeling when they read something, so the writers must make sure that they employ euphemisms that do not sound harsh, that do not convey the original literal meaning. Instead, it conveys in the other way around. Okay, but the meaning will be same. Clear? Okay. Now, techniques for creating euphemism. Euphemism marks a rude or impolite expression but conveys the concept clearly and politely. Several techniques are employed to create euphemism. Some examples are here. It may be in the form of abbreviations such as O, body odor, and WC for toilet. Okay. Foreign words may be used to replace an impolite expression like fox instead of fake, or fox pass instead of foolish error. Okay, so if you need to bring in foreign expressions, you can bring, because it can help avoid unpleasant situations. Okay, then sometimes there are abstractions such as before I go instead of before I die. Clear? They may also be indirect expressions replacing direct ones that may sound offensive, such as rear end, one's backside or buttocks. Okay, unmentionables like underwear or lingerie. So instead of using these words directly, you replace it with those kind of words where the sound is pleasant to hear. Okay, using longer words or phrases can also mask unpleasant words such as flatulence instead of farting. Instead of sweating, you use perspiration. Instead of stupid, you use mentally challenged. So these are the kind of words you can use, okay, to create pleasant situations instead of unpleasant ones. Coming to the last part, conclusion. Euphemism helps writers convey those ideas that have become a social taboo and are too embarrassing to mention directly. Writers skillfully choose appropriate words to refer to and discuss a subject indirectly that otherwise might not be published due to strict social censorship, such as for reasons of religious fanaticism, political theories, sexuality, and death. Thus, euphemism is a useful tool that allows writers to write figuratively about the difficult issues. So, euphemism, as I said earlier, is a kind of art. Okay, instead of saying the word directly, which may cause a lot of problems, you use it in an indirect way to convey the same meaning but with pleasant words. Okay, that is the art of euphemism. Okay, and these are the links that helped me create this video, and I'm really thankful. I hope you all understood euphemism, students. All the best for you, and hope you would apply euphemisms in your writing in future. Best wishes. Thank you.